Hey guys, we're coming up on mid-October, which means it's fall and there's tons of yard work to do. And in this video, I'm going to be planting 100, that's right, 100 daffodil bulbs in my front yard. I'm going to be explaining how to do that and sort of the strategy and technique that I'm going to be using. So if that's something that interests you, stick around. Alright, so here are my 2 bags of 50 bulbs each. So I got 2 bags of the same variety. These are daffodils, and I'm not sure if you can see from the image here, but this is called the Sunshine Mixture, which is a little bit different than your typical just sort of bright yellow daffodil, and this is what I'm going to be planting in my front yard. So I'm gonna give you a quick little preview of the front yard area and then explain kind of the strategy and the approach that I'm taking for planting these bulbs, and then I'm gonna get straight to work. So literally I have 100 of these little bulbs, and like I said, these are daffodils. So I'm just going to quickly go over the instructions that were given before getting into sort of how I'm going to do it. So bloom time, these bloom in mid-spring. These are large cup narcissus and are known for their traditional shape, large flowers on one stem, larger center cup, and they're supposed to be anywhere from 12 to 16 inches tall. These are hardy in zones 2 through 10, and they do kind of go through some features and usage. So bee friendly, suitable for containers, ideal cut flowers, ideal for mass planting, that's what I'm doing, and ideal for rock gardens, fragrant. So planting tips: requires minimal care, allow the foliage to die back naturally, lift dead foliage when it can be removed, and these bulbs will return spring after spring. Plant top of bulb 6 inches below soil line and 6 bulbs per square foot. All right, so those are the instructions that it came with. Let me sort of review my understanding of how you're supposed to plant these types of bulbs. All right, guys, so daffodil bulbs need to be planted in a well-draining area. So make sure when you're choosing where you're gonna put your daffodils that it's well draining, there's not any sort of water collecting in that area. So that's, the first kind of line of thinking that you're going to want to use when deciding where to plant your daffodil bulbs. And these need to be anywhere from 3 to 6 inches deep in the ground. The instructions recommended 6, so I'll do that. When you're planting these, it's pointy end up, so that's good to know. And you're going to need a tool, something like this, to be able to create that hole where you can just plop the bulb right down in it. What else? You probably want to plant these 4 to 5 inches apart, so you don't want to put them all beside each other. Obviously that wouldn't look too great, and I have some cool tips and strategies for how to lay out, especially if you want something more natural looking. And yeah, all right, let's see how this goes. One last final tip before we get started: daffodils do well in full to partial sun, so lots of options when it comes to how much light the area is receiving in which you want to plant these. All right, guys, so depending on the look that you're going for, this could go one of 2 ways. One way would be to sorry, the birds are going crazy over here. But one first way would be maybe you are planting these along a border or along an edge, and you want them, your daffodils to pop up every 6 inches or every 12 inches, something like that. You just take a handful and you toss them, and wherever they land is how you plant them. This way you get a little bit more of a sort of like organic, natural distribution of bulbs instead of like something more symmetrical, not symmetrical, but like, you know what I mean, something that's I don't want anything that's equidistant from each other and very sort of rigid, grid-like. I want something that's sort of free-form, free-flowing. So I'm gonna take them and throw them, and then that's where I'm gonna dig my hole. And obviously I'm gonna keep in mind that they're at least 4 or 5 inches apart and 6 inches deep, but you get the idea. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, actually picked up that tip on Gardener's World, so thank you, Monty Don, for that one.
Wake up and smell the roses. Try hard not to lose focus. There's too much to do. Reap what you sow, you know this. Blessings come and go, but either way, there's too much to lose. Why do you second guess yourself? Don't place your dreams upon a shelf. Don't be so sleep on yourself. Dear insomniac, please check your health.
Alright guys, so I distributed all of the 100 bulbs randomly by throwing them. So they kind of end up in little pockets of 3 or 4. So I think that will look really cool, very natural and organic like I explained. So now I'm going to use my tool. Don't make the mistake that I did by using your foot to step on it, because then you end up with this weird sort of not quite broken but still usable tool. So I did a couple already. So let me show you what it looks like. Alright, so like I said, I used the tool to get my first bulb hole in there, and I'm just about 6 inches, 5-6 inches from the surface, and I'm gonna plop my bulb in there, and like I said, you want the pointy end up to the top, and then you're just gonna take the soil that you took out and put it back in right over top, like so, and yeah, this should be just a little bit of work to get these 100 in, so let me get started, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
Smell the roses, smell the roses. Wake up, smell the roses, smell the roses. What's meant to be will be. Make your destiny. Oh, wake up, smell the roses, smell the roses. Dream farther than your eyes see. Manifest your reality. What path will you choose? Don't be your own worst enemy. Was blind and lost, found at a cross, and now you can see. Why don't you go pray for yourself? Value your dreams as much as wealth. What's done is dead and can't be dealt. So I'll stay low key and move in stealth. Wake up, smell the roses, smell the roses. Wake up, smell the roses, smell the roses. What's meant to be will be. Make your destiny. Oh, wake up, smell the roses, smell the roses.
Alright guys, so I've planted probably only about 10 or 15 bulbs, and yeah, this thing is not holding up so well. I spent about $10 on this, and it looked like sort of like a better built one, but I would suggest, depending on the type of soil, and you know, this is a little bit rockier because it's just the nature of the soil that I have, which is great because it's a little bit more well draining, but not so good for the tool. I'd almost recommend, there are bigger, longer ones that you can use that you can just step on. Also, this is only giving me about 5 inches when the instructions for the bulb said around 6. So we'll have to see how that all turns out. All right guys, so are you planting any bulbs yourself this fall? If so, what are you planting? Comment down below. I have about 80 or 90 bulbs to finish planting, so wish me luck. That's it for me for this video. Miss you guys already. Until the next one.